Okay, let's dive right in. We are on the verge of a massive, fundamental shift in how we build software. I'm not just talking about simple coding assistance. Nope, we're talking about a complete rethinking of the entire development process. This is what we're calling the AI Manager Revolution.
And this quote, it just says it all, right? For any developer or product manager out there, this isn't just a snappy tagline, it's the future. It's the promise that all that tedious, administrative junk that slows everything down, well, it just kind of disappears. And to be really clear here, this is a huge leap. We're moving way beyond AI tools that just, write a little bit of code for you. We're now in an era where AI doesn't just help with tasks, it actually manages the entire project from the very beginning to the very end. So the biggest step forward here isn't just about AI writing better code. It's about AI's new ability to understand, to manage, and to execute the whole workflow around the code. Think about it like this. It's the difference between hiring a helpful intern and bringing on a full-blown senior project manager.
Just picture your typical project board for a second. Something like Jira or Linear. Now imagine the tickets just moving on their own. A task goes from to do, to in progress, and then to in review, all without a single person having to drag and drop anything or type a single status update. That's the world we're looking at right now.
Now, I know this might sound a little bit like magic, but it's really not. There's a very clear, repeatable process that makes this whole self-driving workflow possible. So let's break down exactly how an AI can take a task from the second it's created all the way to completion. Okay, so it all starts with a simple ticket, right? Something like fix bug 404. Instantly, an AI agent, in this case one using Claude 4.5, just grabs it. It doesn't wait for an assignment. It gets the task, it writes the code, and then it submits it for a human to look at in what's called a pull request. But here's the crucial part. It then goes back to the project board and updates the ticket status. The whole admin loop is closed just like that, automatically.
And the impact of this automation is, well, it's pretty staggering. We are talking about a reduction in all that developer admin work of 90%.
And that 90%, that's the real story here. That's the time developers usually spend on stuff that isn't coding. Updating tickets, writing status reports, managing code branches. When you free up all that time, your developers can focus on what they do best, solving really tough problems and building amazing products.
So how does this all scale up? Well, it's not just one giant, all-powerful AI doing everything. The systems that work the best use a team of specialized AI agents. Each one has its own distinct role. Honestly, you can think of it like an AI executive team.
Which, naturally, leads to a pretty big question. If you've got a whole team of AIs, who does what? Who's in charge of actually doing the work, and who's in charge of figuring out what work needs to be done in the first place?
Turns out, this AI team has a really clear division of labor. You've got models like Claude 4.5 that act as your ultimate project manager. It's the doer, totally focused on getting things done and giving you status updates. And then you have models like Gemini 3 playing the role of business analyst. It doesn't just do tasks, it thinks. It reads server logs, pulls together user data, and does research to help you figure out your next big move.
And that leads us to the next big frontier. Because automating project management, that's just the start. The real game changer is when we start automating huge engineering projects that used to mean tons of downtime and manual work, especially for mobile apps. The key to this future is a pretty amazing concept called hot rewrite. In frameworks like Flutter, this tech lets you make these deep, structural changes to an app's code, a process we call refactoring, without ever having to take the app offline.
So just imagine telling your AI manager to go clean up a massive amount of technical debt, or maybe to completely restructure the core of your mobile app. And it does it live, with absolutely zero downtime for your users. The code is literally rebuilding itself behind the scenes, and your users have no idea. The experience is totally seamless. For staying agile and keeping things maintained, this is a total game changer.
So we end on this thought. As AI starts to take over all the admin and the execution parts of project management, it's going to force us to change our own roles. If you're not moving tickets or managing timelines anymore, what's left for you to do? The answer is strategy, vision, creativity. The future isn't about managing the project, it's about managing the purpose.